everyone, my name is Jill. I'm going to show you a short warm-up in preparation for crow posture. Before you start any yoga practice, the most important part is your breath work and preparing your body mentally and physically before you start any sort of movement. So before we start, let's take a moment to center and ground and connect with our breath. So finding your sit bones beneath you, take your shoulders back over your hips. Think about lifting your rib cage to lift that lower belly up a little bit and support the weight of your ribs and shoulders as you sit upright like this. Relax through the tops of your shoulders, guiding them down away from your ears. Now connecting with your breath, start to take in a couple deep breaths in and out through your nose. And first notice the rhythm of your breath. Notice if it's shallow or if you feel it up here in your chest and it's quick and shallow, or if you find it deep and low near the belly. We're going to work our way down to the belly with every inhalation. So as you first connect, find that space. Notice if your breath is strained in any way or feeling stressed and it's just a lack of deep, full inhalation. As you take your inhale in, guide it a little bit lower. So we're going to work our way slowly down until we can find some movement in the lower belly. We're going to start to fill up, moving the belly and filling it up like a balloon and drawing that inhale up into the chest from there. So we feel really open and expansive and bright across the chest and the front of our body. And then as we exhale, guide that breath back down all the way to that low belly where we started from. Okay, and just doing your best, not forcing. Just go with your capacity, keep it soft and natural. The idea here is just to guide our awareness inside. So with the full breath in and out, just start to focus on your breathing. Tell your brain to go inside and follow that centered space within. And following along your spine is very helpful to just stay as closely connected internally as you can. With a couple deep breaths here, this is where we start our practice. Okay? So taking this moment for as long as you need to get your connection. Then from there, we're going to keep ourselves nice and tall in our seated posture, nice and lifted through our sides. And we're going to lift the arms. So take your inhale and reach for the sky here. Soft shoulders. And just feel the length of your spine. Feel the lift and tightness of your belly muscles as we scoop in and up. Turn the palms to face the front. Soft shoulders again. Drop down. Shoulders guided back. Pull your shoulder blades in to touch. A little gentle squeeze there, opening the chest. Take it up again. Inhale, reach to straight arms. Palms forward. And exhale, drop down. Very nice. Let's move into a twist. Left hand over to the right knee. Right hand will move behind the hip. Push into your back fingertips to get yourself nice and tall. Lift through your spine. Scooping that lower belly. Exhale to twist. So we want to feel most of this twist around the core. And we want to try to stay soft through your ribs here. Just holding for a few breaths here, as long as you need. Always exhaling to come back out. Moving to the other side. Right hand to knee, left hand behind you. Push into those back fingers. Lift to a nice tall back. Scoop. Exhale to twist. You could turn your eyes behind you over your back shoulder if you like. We want to feel a nice tight ringing out right here. Okay? So keep yourself lifted for 2 more. And on an exhale, come back to center. Good, let's move into a side bend. Take your right hand off to the side. Lift through your left. So feel yourself rooted through the left sit bone and lift your ribs up from there, nice and long. Slide your right arm away and exhale on over, maybe even dropping to your elbow. Lengthen up the side, nice long stretch. See if you can maybe guide some breath up into your side here. Feeling the ribs expanding with your inhale. Pushing off that right arm. Inhale, toning that left side, coming on up. Exhale, let's lower the left arm. Reach right, again, rooted through the sit bone. Lift up through your ribs and come on over to your side bend. Dropping down. Nice long stretch. Getting into the back, the obliques, the lats, the upper traps, reaching and opening, getting a nice open through the chest, an open space there, through the shoulder. Good. Toning and coming back up. Good. Let's move from here to a tabletop position. When you move into a tabletop position, you want to start off with a flat back. You want to take your shoulders right over your wrists, spread out the fingers, and the hips right over the knees. So we start with a flat back. On your inhale for cat-cow, push the heart forward, drop the belly, and lift through your tailbone here. Now as we exhale, feel that lower belly scoop, tuck the tail, round all the way up to shoulders. Lift out of your upper back here. Heart forward again. Drop the belly, lift your tailbone. So we try to create a nice fluid movement here. Exhale, tuck and round, open up, lift the spine. Belly pulls in. Good, back through, heart forward. Drop the belly, lift the tail. I like to do a few of these with every warm-up, just to bring some lubrication into the discs of your spine. Feeling for some warmth building back there. One more, heart through, inhale. Drop the belly and lift the tail. Good. Scooping. Good. And rounding. Lift up and out. Good. Let's come back to a tabletop position. Curl your toes. Now before we lift the knees up off of the mat, I want you to pull your low belly in and just hug it right up against your lower spine. Okay? The chest will lift up and away from the shoulders. So if you find yourself dropping through, think about pulling out of your armpits. Lift up and out. Now from here, let's float the knees. So this is going to trigger your belly to work. Keep your belly pulled in, building some heat through core. Also as well, legs and arms. Let's take it back. Push forward into your mat with your hands. Pivot deep at your hips and your tail to the sky. Good, so holding here. Deep breaths. Keep your inner thighs really fired up, pulling in towards your pelvic floor. Holding here for 3 more deep breaths. Very nice. Come back to our starting point. Float the knees and hold. Lift up and out of those arms. Keep your belly tight and lifted. Zipping up along your sides. Good. Coming back again. Deep bend. Hinge. Push back. Holding here. Good. Getting nice and warm through belly, back, legs, arms. 2 more. Good. And coming back through. Let's drop the knees to the mat. Come on to the tops of the feet. Take a moment here. Low belly keep it lifted, keep it toned and tight. Let's take the right leg back. Point your toe, foot at hip height. Now lengthen through that left arm and reach. So if you feel a whole lot of weight into your right arm, think about following that midline with breath, keeping centered with your weight. And also it's very helpful to keep this back foot planted and grounded to the mat. Let's hold here for 2 more. Good. On an exhale, rounding, pulling in for crunch. Knee to nose, lift and tuck. Coming back out, reach and hold. So we're just warming here, toning the belly, getting those abs fired, ready for our crow posture. One little step at a time. One more. Coming in. Exhale, lift. Good, and send it back out. Hold here. Beautiful. Bend your back knee. Let's take your hand to the floor. Balancing, shifting back and forth through those arms. Find your equal weight on both sides. Let's push out through the right heel. Now moving right through the hip. Gentle pulses. Lift and lower. 5 here. Squeezing into the glute. Lift and lower. Good. One more. Beautiful. Knee under hip. Back to a tabletop position. Left side. Extend that left leg out to hip height. Little inner spiral. If you find your kneecap moving to the outside, inner spiral so your knee's looking right down at the floor. Right arm extends out. Now while we're balancing here, think about lengthening your body through your back and through your belly rather than through limb. Okay? Holding here. Balancing and holding. Continue to follow your breathing as evenly, as fully as you can. Good. Pulling in for crunch. Exhale, round and lift. Good. Full breath in, following your midline to help you with your balance. And remember that grounding of the top of the right foot on this side. Exhale, pull in. Building some central heat here in body. Reach and extend out. One more time. Pull in. Hold and lift. Tight through that belly. Send it back out to hold. Right hand to the mat. Let's bend into the back knee, lining that heel right up over your knee. Good. 5 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel a little squeeze in the glute. 5. Very nice. Hip right over heel. Let's send the hips back. Good. Hip over heel for devotion and a little brief rest here for those hips and legs as well as arms. Walk your arms out to straighten and drop it down. Good. Back to a tabletop position. Curl your toes. Send yourself right into a downward dog from here. So middle finger leading in your downward dog. We want the fingers nice and spread. Little forward push through those palms. So we root through the heels of the hands. Push forward into the mat a little bit to take your hips back. So we want to have a soft neck. Let the head rest right between the biceps. Push those hips back and heels to the floor. After walk it out a little bit. Getting into some deeper hip opener here. Reach up with that right foot. So we want to lift up to hip height. Let's come up onto the ball of the left foot, feeling how it kind of pulls that lower belly into the pelvis. On the exhale, tighten up your belly, send it to the pinky finger outside. Low lunge here, nice and wide. We're going to turn that foot out a little bit, about 45 degrees. Now if you have a block, you can bring it in for your elbows and drop down as far as you can. Okay? You can certainly move to straight arms if it's too much. Another modification is that back knee comes down onto the floor and you move to the top of your foot back there so you don't cramp your toes. Okay? So while we're here, we want to think about lowering the hips, sinking down into our lunge, and giving ourselves this time to open up. Using your breath in yoga is really important. Keep moving with your breath. Keep collecting that deep inhale, filling up all the way. Think about expansion in space around the pelvis and hips as you breathe in. And as you exhale, release tension. Let yourself drop down a little farther. Just taking our time with this one, spending as much time here as you need, making sure this foot is planted nicely, and we have a good amount of stretch going here. So let's stay with this for a couple more deep breaths. Always moving with our breath, always staying focused on where we are in our body. Good. Taking our hands back to the floor, send your block to the front, coming back to straight arms. Now staying down on your back knee or lifting up, we're going to work into some Spider-Man push-ups. So rolling the shoulders back, creases of the elbows face the front of your mat. Start to bend your elbows, lower down, nice and low. Push through the floor, back up to straight arms. So we're getting deep into those triceps here, getting those arms fired up for our crow. Drop down and back up. Good. 3 more with breath. Exhale, lower down. Back up. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. Strong through those arms, belly lifted. Send your leg back, plank position. Heels over toes, chaturanga to the floor. Good. Soft through the arms, lift the chest. So dropping those shoulders down and back here. It's giving those arms a bit of a rest. Good. 1 vertebrae at a time. Exhale down. Coming up again. Inhale, lift. And exhale down. Good. From the floor, tabletop is a modification here. Curl your toes, lift your knees, full plank, all the way up, downward dog. Stretching it out, let's take the left leg up to hip height now. Holding here, pushing out through the heel, again trying to square the hips. Lift up onto the ball, the right foot. Low belly pulls back, tone and tighten. Inhale, exhale outside the pinky finger. Come down into your lunge. Turning those toes out, drop down as low as you can go. And again, bringing in that block if you need it. Coming down onto your back knee as a modification here. Okay? So staying low. Sink into your hips. Using your breath, staying focused on that center. Full deep breaths. Inhale, open, space connecting to the hips and pelvis around those tight spots. Breathe your deep breath into those areas. Then with an exhale, we release and we sink and we move right into that space that we brought in with our inhale. And it's all with intention and just micro movements of space. Taking our time getting in. We are also very tight around our pelvis, around our hips. We just take our time getting into it, little bits at a time. So let's spend a few more deep breaths right here, just making sure that our left foot's planted. We feel nicely grounded through that right side if we're down on our knee. If our leg's extended, we're pushing out through that heel, keeping that quad nice and tight and activated. Let's stay for 3 more here. Always lifting up and out of those armpits, just like we worked on in our tabletop position. Good. Let's move from here to straight arms, back up. Okay, again, modification, knee to the floor for those Spider-Man push-ups. Otherwise, leg goes straight. Roll those shoulders back, creases of the elbows face the front. Keep the elbows up against your ribs the best that you can. Drop down low. Now let's really push through those triceps. Inhale, back up. Good. Exhale, drop down. And back up. 3 more of these, guys. Exhale, lower down. Back up. 2 more. Last one. Good. Now as we stay straight and strong through back and arms, send this left leg back to a plank position. Find your plank, making any adjustments. Heels over toes, chaturanga to the floor. Tops of the feet soft around our shoulders here. Let's lift up to cobra. Good. 1 vertebrae at a time to the mat. Exhale out. Good. Coming up again, inhale, lift. Find your edge and hold it here. We're going to take the arms behind us. Interlace the fingers back there. Pull to straight arms and peel yourself up a little bit farther. Now legs planted. For more, lift and float. Reach out through those toes. Hold here. Think about opening the chest. Rolling the shoulders back. Holding here steady. 3 more. Very nice. Circle your hands under shoulders. Tabletop or plank, straight up, and downward dog. Exhale it out. Good. Let's take our eyes towards our thumbs. Okay, we find a nice root through those hands. Bend your knees. Tail to the sky, heart forward, a nice deep bend in that lower back. Start to bounce. Okay, now when we come forward, we're going to come both feet to the outside, so those pinky fingers coming into a squat position. 1, 2, 3, and jump. Heels to the floor, sit yourself down. So walking these feet out, if your heels are popping up, walk your toes out till you can get them underneath your ankles. Okay? That way we can get those heels all the way down onto the floor and sit weight back into those heels into our squat. Hands come together. So we want to push the outer shoulders into the inner knees. And as we do this, push firm into your palms, lift your back. Lovely deep hip opener here. Hands to the floor. Shift weight into your arms so we can float the feet together. Okay, so we're going to bring those knees inside the arms, and we're up on the balls of the feet. Palming the mat, lift up so we can take those knees up into the armpits. So as the middle finger leads, spread out those fingers, and we're just going to practice a little weight here, shifting back and forth. Lift up onto the balls of the feet. Lean forward into your arms. So while we're here, guys, let's think about lifting the ribs and pulling them in. Shift back onto your heels. So we're going to rock a little back and forth. Just getting used to weight shifting into the arms. Okay? And we roll back. Coming through again, rocking forward. Keeping those inner thighs pulling in and into the pelvic floor. Keeping that belly and obliques lifted in and up. And coming back. We feel it in our legs here, guys, and in those arms. Keep it active through that core as well. Very nice. Rock back onto your heels. Let's push to straight legs and forward fold. Half halfway lift. Hands go to the shins. We look forward. Lengthen. And exhale, lower down. Good. Swan dive to the top. Inhale, reach. And exhale, heart beating, forward fold. Good. Let's bend the knees. Come down onto our mat for a moment. The block is a great tool to use when you're first learning crow posture. So we want to start with our feet, our little birdie feet, on our block like a perch. Okay? So this is a great way to give yourself just those few extra inches of lift up and off of the floor. Okay, so let's come up onto our block. Place the balls of our feet right on there. And then we're going to find that posture again where we bend the knees and tuck those knees right up into our armpits. And we want to press them into the backs of our arms. Keep those inner thighs fired up. Let's rock again. Forward into the arms. This time stay. Let's point the right toe and float. Pull that heel up into the sit bone and lower back down. Shift back into your legs. Coming forward again. Push into the floor. Equal through your arms. Point your left toes and lift. Heel to the sit bone. And coming back down. Good. Let's try that one more time. Back onto the right side. Shift into your arms. Firm push. And we want to make sure, guys, that when we're here, to always keep our eyes forward. Okay, back into the left side. Shift forward. Pull in. And feet to the block. Let's push up to straight legs. Release. Forward fold here for a moment. Now we're going to work our way all the way into crow. So there's a lot of variations here for you to work your way into. Starting with that squat, feet on the floor, shifting into the arms and shifting back. Okay? Then we slowly work our way into our block, where we lift one foot at a time, drop down, and then the other. Finding that balance, building the confidence up to move our body all the way into our arms. Okay, so let's try it. Always taking our time, guys. If you need to practice the variations a few times first, please do. Forward folding, drop down, find your squat. Middle finger leads, lift those knees up into the armpits, push in, suck in through your ribs, lift and scoop through your belly and sides, weight into the arms, eyes forward, push firm into the floor, shift all the way into your arms, feet pop up, toes point, pull those feet up into the sit bones and hold right here. Lower down when you're ready, all the way back to your squat. And come off our block. So when you work into your arms a lot, they're forward and there's a lot of weight in them with planks or any sort of arm balances. You want to take that time to counter the arms. So let's take them behind our back. Interlace the fingers and pull to straight. Roll those shoulders back, lift the arms up. A lot of work being done across the chest and upper back here. Always making sure we stretch out after we practice. Reach. Right elbow bends, palm to the upper back. Take your left hand to your elbow. Gentle push down. Getting into the triceps here. A lot of work in the triceps with any sort of planks or push-ups or arm balances. Other side. Bend at the left elbow. Push down. And back up to straight. Circle those arms to the floor. Let's take left hand over to right knee. Gentle twist. Exhale. And back to center on the out breath. Other side. Lift, inhale. Exhale to twist. Very nice, everybody. Shift your weight to one side so you can bring your legs forward. We'll bring the bottoms of the feet together. Pull those heels in as close to you as you can so the outer edges of your feet press together. Take your hands to your pinky toes. Lifting, inhale. Pull your feet towards you as you send the heart through, finding a fold here. Elbows to calves, gently press there. Just softening into those legs from our hard work. Pressing into the outer edges of your feet. Tone your belly. Coming back up to straight. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. There'll be more to come. Thank you very much for watching. Namaste.